Welcome, guys. Dr. Wendy Dearborn here from the Laws of Attraction in Action and the very first episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. Well, I'm going to give myself a round of applause here. Here we go. Yay. That be for me. Well, guys, I said this is episode 1, but for anybody who's been following me, you do know that this is not my first rodeo with a podcast, although this is my first serious podcast using Spreaker, which is the new platform that I'm using for a multitude of reasons. And those reasons go from you can get this on your Echo, you can get this podcast on your Echo. It's on iTunes. It's all over the place, guys. It's all over the place. Hopefully, pretty soon here it'll be on iHeart. You should be able to get this on YouTube. It is going to be absolutely all over the place. So, that being said, welcome to You and the Laws of Attraction. And yes, guys, this is a brand new podcast for me in its format. Now, I know for anybody who has been following me in the past and listening to my podcast, you'll be able to listen to those. You'll get all of those and everything else that I had going before. You'll be able to get all of those and now this new content. And this new content really is being driven by the fact that I think that it's vitally important. I think it's vitally important that you have the tools that you need to create the life that you want to live. So once again, it's vitally important, I feel, that you have the tools that you need to create the life that you want to live. So I'm going to share my knowledge, my expertise, my wisdom. I'm going to share everything that I've got. I'm just giving it everything that I've got. So this actual podcast is going to be coaching. It's going to be inspirational. It's going to be, I suppose, motivational. It's going to be spiritual. It's going to have all these elements in addition to bringing to you a greater understanding of things like color and what color means to you, what color can do for you, shapes, which goes into sacred geometry, the power of shapes, the power of food. People got this idea that food's just about keeping body and soul together and or having you look like a size 14 or a size 12 or a size 10 or whatever it is. Food, I'm going to be talking about that. It goes so far beyond nutrition. And while I know that people say that food is medicine, it goes so far beyond that too. Food is instrumental in your prayers, if you're praying, right? Your prayers being answered and your spiritual growth. So I'm going to be looking at all of these facets, everything that I've done, aromatherapy, energy healing, or energy balancing, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to bring that to you and more. In addition to, everybody knows, and if you don't know, hey, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn. I'm going to tell you, I am serious. I'm going to ring a little bell on this one because I am serious. Okay, the bell's rung, school's in. I am serious, deadly serious about meditation and the power of meditation. And I'm not talking about contorting your body into a position that doesn't feel right to you and having to do a practice that's very alien to you. I'm talking about meditation. And meditation is something that is, I believe, easy. It's something that you can apply to your life. That's, of course, if you want to. And it's something that brings lasting results. And that being said, when I said, if you want to, it's vitally important that on this show, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you, excuse me, that was a sneeze. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to give you possibilities, and that you can take whatever you hear on this radio show or on this podcast. Let me phrase it this way. I used to do Blog Talk Radio, which is why I say on this radio show. What you hear on this podcast, you can take it and you can mold it and meld it and enmesh it, and you can do what it is that you need to do for you. So your life and how it's manifesting for you isn't cookie cutter. That's not where this is going. It's not a cookie cutter. It's like, if you, and I'm always using food analogies, so you got to roll with me on this, guys. If you're new to my podcast, I always talk about food analogies. If you are not new, then you've heard this before. You have a pound of butter, pound of sugar, pound of flour, eggs, and some milk and vanilla extract. Everybody will have the same thing, but their cakes will taste uniquely different. And so it is when you're utilizing the laws of attraction. So it is when you are creating the life that you say that you want to live. It can look like somebody's, it can mimic somebody's, but fundamentally you're unique, so it'll be different. So as I said, guys, we're going to be talking about food. We're going to be talking about meditation. We're going to be talking about relationships. Relationships are huge. And before I get to that, about relationships, I just want to say who I am, because I kind of forgot to say that. So, yay. Yeah, I did. Right, no joke, I did. I kind of forgot to say who I am and what I do. Well, I said who I am. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn. I am a choice expert, and I am a clarity coach. So I'm a choice and clarity coach. I'm also a metaphysician. I believe in metaphysics. And metaphysics is literally means beyond the physical. And I truly do believe that things have to happen beyond the physical before they can become physical. Like the unseen has to be unseen before it can become seen. Or it has to, the word has to be spoken before it can be made flesh. So that's where I am in my journey. That's who I am, fundamentally, seriously, who I am and where I'm at. What I will be doing, as I said, talking about food, talking about the laws of attraction, what I will be doing is coaching. This is something that I will definitely be doing is coaching. And this is a passion of mine. It's not just a job. It's a passion. I am passionate about supporting people in recognizing the power of their choice, and also in understanding nuances. Like, it's not the law of attraction, it's the laws of attraction. And as if you've listened to me on previous podcasts, which are all available right here on Spreaker, they're available on iTunes, they're available, you can get this on Amazon, you can get this all over the place. All right. That being said, people have used the law of attraction as this big, this overarching thing, and it's not, because the law of attraction is part of the laws of attraction. The law of attraction happens to be a binding force, and it functions, and the function of this law is to pull or bind together all other laws that create an intentional stream of consciousness that draws to you that which you have chosen to experience in your life. That's the law of attraction. The law of attraction is made up of many, 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 many things. But above all, it's part of the laws of attraction. So that being said, I'm going to do a show about that. I've done that on my previous platform that I was on, which was Blog Talk Radio. But as I said, I've moved to Spreaker. So I'm going to be bringing that to you. The other thing that I'm going to actually talk about is relationships. And everything that you do in life, the car that you're driving in, the pen that you may be holding, the coffee cup that you may be drinking from, that whatever it is and wherever you are at this moment in life, whether you are enjoying it, whether you're hating it, whether it is a crime hopefully not perpetrated against you, wherever you find yourself in life, you are in a direct relationship with whatever those people, places, and things are. You're also in a direct relationship with yourself, which I think is one of the biggest misnomers that people have problems with. People don't really recognize the power of cultivating a relationship with self. I'm also going to do some work with relationship with couples. This is another thing that I have experienced professionally and to a certain degree in my personal life with friends around me, that relationships tend to be really challenging. And it's my experience that people don't communicate well. People don't communicate well. And then they say things that they don't ultimately mean, and it spirals out of control. And guys, seriously, I'm hoping that I can get my husband on board with this, because it would be really awesome if he would come into that environment, or for that segment, the relationship or couples relationships. I do know that both my husband and myself, and that's Dee, my husband's name is Dee, we've actually sat down and we've spoken with people. And again, it's not about telling people what to do. Oh, you must do this and you should be like this for your wife and you should be. It's not about that. It's about literally speaking to people and letting them know, here are some options that you can actually use within your relationship. And if you use these within your relationship, you have to be guaranteed a certain result. Now, what you do with that result is totally up to you. But what it will guarantee is a certain reaction. You see, because an action will get a reaction. And in this particular instance, when we're talking about relationships, there's actions that you take and they'll get certain reactions. Or should I say 99.9% of the time, you get a certain reaction. So guys, that's what I'm going to be doing. Again, I'm going to be talking about food. I'm going to be talking about aromatherapy. I'm going to be talking about relationships. I'm going to be coaching. I'm going to be speaking about the power of your choice and clarity. You know, guys, if you don't know what you want or where you want to go, and it's a definitive, it's absolute for you. What you're doing, you be out there just sort of like flailing, you know, whatever around, you know, you'll be out there just blowing in the wind. And this is what I do. This is what I'm passionate about. My personal claim to fame, and I'm not talking about my educational claim to fame, but my personal claim to fame is this. I had a near-death experience, and I'm going to do a whole show on that. I had a near-death experience which brought me to and led me to the understanding of the power of choice. It also solidified my purpose here in life. And my purpose in life is as a metaphysician, as somebody who practices metaphysics. And meta means beyond, and physics means beyond physical. As somebody who practices metaphysics, it's about sharing this inspired, divine message. Wasn't my message. This inspired, divine message with people. I'm going to be talking about the power of prayer and ensuring that you pray right, making sure that your relationship with your divine, whomever your chosen deity is on the right footing. And it's not a relationship based on what you have been told, but based on what you have experienced. It's not a relationship based on what the current trend is, or the relationship isn't based on, well, I've done this since the time I was baptized at the age of 2 months or 4 months old. I've always done this. It's not based on that. It's based on having a true and authentic relationship with your divine or whomever your chosen deity is. And that's not to say that any of the above that I said was wrong, but it is about having a conscious, that's the word I was looking for, a conscious relationship. So I've got lots of new things coming, and I'm actually really excited about this. I've chosen this platform because it does allow me a lot more freedom, in as much as people can have a lot more accessibility to me. In the next week, or within this week, it's still early days, it's Monday. Yeah, so within this week, what I'm hoping to do is have my, app done, app up and ready. So I'm on your phone. You don't really have to go to iTunes or any of the other outlets if you don't want to. You can just click on the app and up I pop, and there I am. So that's what's going to be going on. And guys, I'm really, really, really looking forward to this. I know that for many people who have been following me, and guys, you can find me on Dr. Wendy Dearborn on YouTube. Check that out. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button or bell. Because anytime I do a podcast, anytime I upload a video and or upload a recorded webinar, you will be notified and you'll be able to pick the information up there. But yeah, and I'll be doing cooking demonstrations, all sorts of stuff. I'm really jazzed. I'm really looking forward to sharing the information that I have, to sharing the knowledge that I have. And let me just say this, guys, the knowledge and information that I'm going to be sharing with you, a lot of it is incoming or, excuse me, insightful. It's coming to me. It's coming to me as an insight based on my connection with the divine, with source, with spirit, with God, Jehovah, Elohim, whomever your chosen deity is. Whomever your chosen deity is. See, because at a level, the name that you give your chosen deity truly doesn't matter. What actually matters is how you use the information that your deity has provided for you. And that's the universal laws. The universal laws. One of the reasons why I am jazzed about you and the laws of attraction is that it doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter what your belief system is. And I really mean that. Utilizing the laws is about using energetic information to get what you want. And this information has been provided for us so that we can maneuver through life and actually live out or live our purpose so that we can live a fulfilling life. Right. So what to expect? What to expect? Well, you and the law of attraction, or the laws of attraction, is truly a podcast. It's about you. What I want to show you is the nuances in life. And that's a meme. I publish a daily meme. And it's, I believe it's called The Nuance of Life. And it's just about understanding the contrast and parallels, the universal law of contrast, which is huge. There's a universal law of parallel. That's huge too. So it's about understanding the contrast and parallels. When you say something, recognizing that, you know, how passionate you are. Your passion creates a force. And that force will be, how should I say? That force will be supported by your intention. So your intention is supported by your passion, and your passion is supported by your intention. And all of that goes to support your choice and clarity. When you start working with the laws and you start looking at them differently, you look at them as a method of support, it can change your world. What to expect? What I'm going to share with you are possibilities. Possibilities. That's what you'll get from me, is possibilities. And once again, I'm not telling you what you have to do. What I'm giving to you or sharing with you is a possibility. And there is always a possibility. You see, because within every problem, you'll find the solution. And within every question, there is the answer. This is nature at its finest. This is the universe at its finest. And this is an immutable and unchangeable God-given law. So this is what I want to share with you guys. And what else to expect? Well, I am going to, as I said, I'm going to be coaching. And so I'm going to be doing some of this on air and some of it in the group, like the Facebook group, The Laws of Attraction in Action, the Facebook group. I'm going to be doing some of that there. And of course, if people want a one-on-one, I'm available to do that. And or I'm available to do group coaching, like individual group coaching and individuals as a group coaching and individual coaching. And this can be done if you're in Las Vegas. I am really working on, in the not too distant future, doing some very intimate live sessions where, I'm there, you're there, we can sit down, we can talk, we can, hash things out. We can, we can make it happen. So I'm looking at doing some live sessions, and I mean live sessions, literally. I'm also looking at doing some sessions for people who aren't in this locale, but would want that on platforms like Zoom, possibly Skype, that sort of thing. So I'm looking at doing that. And of course, webinars, telenars, these sort of things. These are the things that you can expect. And also videos, once again, that will be posted on YouTube. That's my platform. I had a couple of other platforms that I was actually using. And funny enough, as the universe is wont to do, the universe said to me, get rid of everything else. Don't. It was just dividing my time, and it was splitting content here, content there, and it was about streamlining. That's like this morning. I don't know if I said this already, so forgive me if I have, because I'm all jazzed. This is my second. No. This is the fourth time I'm actually recording this. I kept getting feedback and I couldn't figure out where the feedback was coming from, but I kept getting feedback and I thought it was my speakers, and I unplugged my speakers and da. And so I decided, you know what, Wendy, go on YouTube, you'll find the answer, because in the help section here, I actually couldn't find the answer, or let's put it this way, it wasn't coming to me quick enough. And as I got onto YouTube, I was listening and I realized that I had two microphones up and working. And then when I looked up, I realized that the microphone on my camera was on. And of course, I have a snowball, or whatever you call it, not a Yeti, a snowball. And that was on. So I was getting this echo. So that took care of that. But where I was going in regard to intuition is simply this. This morning, I got up at about 5:15. I had some emails to actually put out. And so once I had done that, my intuition said to me, do a podcast. And I truly like to be prepared. It may not come off that way, but I like to be prepared. I like to research. I like to have my bullet points. Sometimes I like to have things scripted out if it's a subject matter that I can go off on a tangent with. And guys, believe me, I can go off on a tangent. So I like to have things, a little bit more laid out. And I was like, oh, I need to jot down some notes. And then I know what I'm like, because I'll start jotting down some notes, and that will go into this, and then that will go into that. And next thing you know, I've got two weeks worth of blogs completed. So it was like, no, just get on and say what you have to say. And I was like, okay. And then when I got on, of course, as I just explained, I had the issue with the feedback and had to do all of that. And then I thought to myself, nah, I'll just jot down these points and yada, yada, yada. And again, clearly in my head, I heard, no, get on and do what you need to do. Do what you do. Do it. Well, that being said, and I will be bringing a podcast about that, your intuition is never wrong. Ever. Ever. Even if it feels like it's wrong, it's never wrong. Because most of us have had that experience where our intuition has told us something, and then, we didn't do it. We absolutely didn't do it. And then maybe next week or the following week or, next year, the following year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, something happens and your brain says, oh my God, my intuition told me not to do that. I told myself not to do it. Why did I do this? Okay, we've all had that experience. And one of the things that I have committed to this year is truly listening to my intuition. Now, I'm going to be very honest. I listen about 90% of the time. 10% of the other time, I if I'm not doing something, literally, I'll say, it's my life, it's my choice, and I ain't doing that. And if I really need to do it, I need to get another into it, but in a different format. It needs to come at me differently. And I will say, I'll own that if something else comes across the pike to me, if something else comes down the pike to me, and it's like, your intuition is telling you X, Y, Z again, then I'll act on it. But 90% of the time I do, 10% of the time I can say with my hand on my heart, I don't. That being said, my intuition told me to do this, so I am doing it. And I'm going to say the last 10 months has been not only traumatic, and I'm not just talking about 10 months ago, I'm talking about the last 10 months has been a source of trauma. Whether it has been illness, whether it has been death, loss, or all sorts of stuff, lack, limitation, or at least the feeling of, so many things all rolled into one. And for those of you who actually follow me, I used to be popping up like Jack in the Box. Here goes here goes a Facebook Live, here goes an Instagram, yada yada yada. While I am posting on Instagram, I post my food. The food that I cook for Food Beyond Its Nutrition. That's a whole nother thing that I want to bring to you guys as well. But my inspirational posts, my talks, all of that, even my previous podcast, which was called My Life, My Choice, that came to a grinding halt. Everything stopped. Everything stopped until this morning. Literally until this morning. And this morning, when I got up at 5:15, did what I needed to do, I was told, now is the time. So I will be sharing some of what took place, because really and truly, I felt like I'd been turned upside down. I'd been shaken out, and then I'd been dragged by my feet through, like bushes to create a pathway instead of, taking a machete and creating the pathway and kind of walking through it. No, I was being dragged through it. So it's been a really challenging time for me that being said, leaning on my understanding and leaning on what I know and leaning on the power of meditation, the power of the spoken word, it's got me to where I am now, which 10 months later is a good spot to be. Based on everything that's happened to me, 10 months is a good place to be. And this is what I want to share with you guys, how to utilize the tools that you have, how to utilize your emotions so that you're not living but yet still being buried alive, how to use all of this so you can live the life that you want to live, and not just health and wealth, but I'm talking about your whole life, your spiritual life, your emotional life, your physical life, relationships, and everything that comes with that. So yes, guys, as I like to say, she's back. Yeah, baby, she's back. And definitely I'm back. Let's see, what else did I want to share with you? I told you who I am briefly. You'll hear about that as I go along. More than anything, what I do want you to understand is that you and the laws of attraction is all about you, and you. Your life is about you. And this is one of the things that I say repeatedly. I cannot live your life for you. I can't breathe for you, and you can't breathe for me. In the same way that you cannot ingest food for me, you cannot eat food for me and expect me to live. And I can't eat food for you and expect you to live. That's not how that works. Only you can do that for yourself. And the other thing is, you're going to find I use a lot of food analogies because I am truly into food. I mean, one of the things that I'll be bringing to you is food beyond its nutrition. And many people know and believe that food is medicine, but food goes so far beyond its medicinal properties. You know, food has a spiritual connotation that can be broken or broken into different factions. You know, you've got sacred geometry, which is about space, which is about shapes, which is about shapes and how shape can influence your life. Food brings sacred geometry to you that you ingest. Food brings color, and color is a powerful healing medium. It's a powerful modality for change. You ingest color when you eat food. This is why, for me, it's so important that when you sit down to eat, your plate is as colorful as you can get it. On your plate, you should have a whole plant, and I'm going to get to that when I talk about food beyond its nutrition, and of course, whole food, plant-based eating. But you should have a whole plant, and you should have all the colors of the rainbow. Food is an amazing thing. And one of the things that I find, I'm going to say disheartening, is this. And as you follow me as I go through my process with this, is that many people are trying to fit themselves into a reality that isn't theirs. And what happens is when their expectation doesn't meet the reality that they're trying to fit in that isn't theirs, they experience disappointment, which is why so many people struggle with their weight, why so many people struggle with their body image, why so many people struggle with who they are and who they're trying to show up to be. So, guys, I'm going to be bringing all that and more to you on my new podcast, You and the Laws of Attraction. It is so beyond the laws of attraction. However, it is about the laws. Fundamentally, it is about the laws. Because I'll say this to you. The first law in the universal laws of attraction is the law of choice. Before you can do anything, you have to choose it. And this has been my experience. And my experience is this based on my near-death experience. And I had a near-death experience. And this is what as I said before, this is what my purpose is. It's about bringing this knowledge, the power of choice, and then the domino effect that happens when you are passionate, when you have intention, when you have discipline, when you have courage, when you have forgiveness, when you have love, when you have gratitude, when you have understanding, when you have contrast, when you have parallel, when you have, and these are all laws that I'm talking about, guys, when you have honesty, when you have all of these and more, there are so many laws. When you have all of these and so much more, it creates this recipe, or as they call it, that perfect storm. And there's nothing wrong with a storm. A storm can be clearing. It can be invigorating. It can be rebuilding. It can be so many things. So for me, it creates that perfect spiritual storm. It creates that. So that being said, we have the group, I have the group, The Laws of Attraction in Action, and that's on Facebook, and you can find me there. And of course, I have the page, The Laws of Attraction in Action. Now, I was just talking about the universal laws. You can actually go to both the page and or the group. In the group, you won't be able to download the laws, but on the page, you won't be able to download these laws. You go to the group and you'll be able to download them as a PDF. But in that, I have listed 17 laws that I think are very, very pertinent, starting out with the law of choice, which is free will. You got command, action, return, desire. The law of consciousness, which truly, guys, we really need to be more conscious. We really need to be more conscious. I've got magnetism, manifestation, discipline, honesty, etc. All these laws. You can actually download that and you can start working with that. You can just start looking at them and seeing, okay, what about this resonates with me? And as I've said before, look, I'm not telling anybody to do anything. That's not who I am. That's not where I'm at. What I'm doing is presenting information. And it's really funny, people want to debate with me about stuff. I'm not debating about this. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. So for debates, I'm not open for debates. I don't need you to feel or think the same way as I do. All I'm doing is presenting you with information. So guys, you can go to Facebook and that's The Laws, and that's plural. LAWS. The Laws of Attraction in Action. The group and the page. You can download 17 laws that I've put out that I think at this moment in time are pertinent to people. Also in the group, I shall be a lot more active in the group. I have been posting memes. That much I have been doing. I've been posting daily memes. But I am going to be, or I am, as of this morning, more involved, more active, and doing what my life's work is all about. And that's spreading the gospel of choice as it pertains to the universal laws of attraction and you. So what else did I need to tell you? Yeah, the shows. The shows will be, I actually haven't selected a day. And ironically, usually I'm so squaring in the box and I'm like, oh my God, I need to have a day. And I do need to have a day. The one thing that I am jazzed about with using this platform and jazzed about with doing what I'm doing in this way is that there are times when I wake up at 3:00 in the morning and my intuition is saying to me, you need to go ahead on and just do a show. And I'm like, well, I don't actually want to just record it. I want to do this live. I know I have to do this live. And the other platform that I was using wasn't conducive to that. It wasn't conducive. It just, It wasn't giving me that energy. This platform has opened my world up. I mean, it truly, before I went to the UK, I left on the day I started my pro plan, actually, it was on the 30th of May. The 30th of May 2019. And again, I got up and my intuition was like, you need to set this up. You must set this up. You have to set this up. And I'm thinking to myself, really? Like May? I know I'm going to be gone June. I don't know what's happening in July, and evidently nothing, because I didn't do anything in July. And I was like, well, I don't know where this is going. Why can't I set this up when I'm ready? But my intuition said on the 30th of May, you need to set this up. And on the 30th of May, I flew out to the UK. But this was done. It was up and it was ready. And I would imagine it was ready for the reason that happened this morning. That all I had to do was figure out a couple of bugs. And they were my bugs, not speaker bugs. They were my bugs in not knowing how to use the system properly, which really is so simplistic. But I was ready to go. I was up and I was ready to go. And so this is what I mean, guys, about listening to your intuition, acting on it. What happened on the 30th of May, I didn't see the fruition of it until this morning. Like 4 recordings ago. Because my first recording was about, 6 minutes past 6. And I was trying to figure that out and do all this jazz. So I am really looking forward to this, guys. We're going to have some fun. I am looking to do, and if I haven't said this before, and this is what I mean, when I have bullet points and it's scripted out, I know what I've said, so I don't kind of repeat myself. But I am definitely looking at doing some more up close and personal work with you, some more individual work. And in addition to this kind of broad net, this broad spectrum that I'm doing, I'm really looking at doing some more one-on-one. And that's whether it's in a group setting and or, sort of like an individual. This will be on Zoom. My preference is Zoom for people who aren't here. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to doing some live work right here in Las Vegas. So guys, that's what I wanted to share with you. You will be able to get this podcast and all my other podcasts. This podcast, you and the Laws of Attraction, you'll be able to get it on Echo. You'll be able to get it on Google. You'll be able to get it on YouTube. You'll be able to get it on, I'm thinking, SoundCloud. I know that iHeartRadio, after today, you should be able to pick me up on iHeartRadio. And by the end of the week, I will actually have my app done so that it will be on your phone and you don't have to go anywhere other than to your telephone, whether it be an iPhone, whether it be, a smartphone. It doesn't matter. As long as it's a cell phone, you'll be able to pick up my podcast. So guys, on that note, I've been live for about, nearly 45 minutes. And it's 45 minutes that has really empowered me. You may never ever know that, but it's really empowered me. And these are the things that I do to assist and support me in doing what I'm here to do. And that's to fulfill my contractual agreement with God in regard to choice and disseminating the power that is found in conscious choice. So I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn, and I look forward to this journey that we're going to go on. And yeah, until next time, please look out. I should be back sometime this week. I am going to say today's Monday. I should be back sometime this week. I'll let you know. And the next time I come on a podcast, next time I'm up live, I'm going to let you know what day I will be actually broadcasting on. And those are the days, or that's the day that you'll be able to listen and you'll be able to find me. You see, that's another thing, guys, before I get off the air, that's another thing. Prior to this moment in time, which I have changed dramatically. Prior to this, I would have needed to know, coming on air, what time, what day, what time. I do keep a storyboard, and I will be doing a storyboard, but I think I'm going to be a little bit more flexible in all of that. This is something that I've learned over the last 10 months. It's okay. You can be fluid. You can be flexible. Just be passionate. Just be passionate. Just have your intention. And so you stumble, so you this. Just be passionate. And I'm really passionate, guys, because I am wanting for you the same thing that I'm wanting for self. And that's to understand the power of your choice and the power of clarity. This is why I'm a choice and clarity coach. This is why I do what I do. So guys, until next time, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn. You can find me at the Laws of Attraction in Action.com. Be sure to check out the Facebook group. You can actually listen to this and share this on YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Every time I upload something there, what you will get is a notification right to your email. And that can be a cooking demonstration for Food Beyond Its Nutrition. It can be a webinar. It can be a telenar. It can be a podcast, all sorts of things. That's the other thing. You see, guys, this is what happens. Okay, that's the other thing. I'm just going to roll with it. My actual YouTube page, it was like, oh, somebody was saying, no, you should streamline it and you should do this and da 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 da. Do I sound streamlined to you? I don't think so. Will it be organized? Yes. In a fashion? Yes, it will. But you'll be able to find most of you what you want there. And of course, on my website, the Laws of Attraction in Action.com. So guys, until next time, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn. May your road that you travel be clear. May the road that you travel on be harmonious. And may you look to the universal creator, known to me as God, or whomever your chosen deity is. May you look for the support and guidance that is yours by divine right. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn, guys. Until next time, peace.